All right, guys, so what do we have? We have the World Supercross Championship. This would be the British GP Round 1, I guess. And so I do have a bunch of stuff I want to talk about in this video. Most of it has to do with the Super Motocross Championship and the FIM World Championship, and then the championships inside of the Super Motocross Championship, right? Kind of confusing. A lot to say, but about the track is pretty good. I mean, it's pretty standard, but I mean, it does have two decent rhythm sections on it, and for the most part, it is pretty one line, but the top rhythm section at the top of the track, there is two different ways to go through that, so it's not bad. And the reason we know what the track layout is because they did release the animated track map. It's based off of what they had the arrow doing, so it might not be that way in real life, but they intended, I guess, when they did the layout. But I mean, I can see them using the step on, step off table more, but with the way the animated track map had the line, they were jumping over it and off of it more often, right? So let's just jump into it and check out the British GP Supercross. Okay, so we're going to talk about the motocross or Super Motocross and the World Supercross Championship, and then the Motocross Championship and Supercross Championship within that. It is Championship City is what it is. It's kind of confusing. Well, it isn't kind of. It is confusing. They did a press release where they kind of tried to make it all clear, and I watched a video from Motocross Action Magazine by Josh Moseman, and he explained it probably the best that I've heard. So I always thought the World Supercross races, the British GP race here, Australia, maybe another one, were all going to be part of the Super Motocross Championship. That isn't the case. That isn't what they're doing. The FIM World Supercross Championship is going to run parallel to the AMA Motocross and maybe Supercross. Like, it's going to be running at the same time. So the problem was Feld MX Sports probably worried that they were going to pull some of these guys from the US stuff to go do the World Supercross Championship. And I think the World Supercross Championship is cool. It's great, but you know, I'm sure they were worried about that. They said that wasn't the case. They said that they've been planning this for a while and whatever, but it just feels like they put this big $10 million purse together and then made a Super Motocross Championship, by the way of which the motocross, 11 motocross rounds, 17 supercross rounds, and 3 super motocross rounds all on Peacock. Yes, it is coming back. I'm so happy. It's $5 for a nice tight package where you can watch all of it. Mav TV was a complete nightmare. Horrible production, broadcast, just terrible. And so it felt like they were trying to ruin outdoor motocross. It felt like that. And then supposedly it was going to go to Flow Motorsports for like $30, and I know a bunch of people said we're not doing that. It's just a bummer, a huge bummer for what they were doing to motocross, but they fixed it. They got it better. I think pretty much everybody's going to be happy. It's on NBC, the app, Peacock, and yeah, good for the sport, good for us, the viewer, and whatnot. But it's a bunch of races. So the Super Motocross is going to be 17 rounds of Supercross, 11 rounds of Motocross, 3 rounds of Super Motocross, I guess. And they've already shown the finale, the championship finale race. It's at the LA Coliseum. You can find it. It's on Twitter. Go see Supercross Live or Feld or whatever. They've shown the track layout. Looks crazy. Looks cool. Can't wait to see it. And then the other 2 tracks, we haven't seen the design, and it's to be determined on where it'll be. But kind of confusing, right? So basically, from the beginning of January all the way to the 1st of October, we're gonna see racing. Great for the viewer. I mean, that's a long season, right? Very long. And I mean, you'll still have your individual Supercross champ, outdoor motocross champs, 250 and 450, but then you'll have the Super Motocross champ. And the points are weird. It's like, for the first race, it's 26, and then double, and then triple. So Really weird, really high stakes type of racing, and I think they said they're going to save $5.5 million of the $10 million purse for the Super Motocross 3-race event. I think. Not sure. Really confusing. But the reason I say it's confusing is because I thought the World Supercross Championship was part of the Super Motocross Championship. And I should have known better because they were talking about it not that way, but that's what I thought. So I thought the British GP, the Australian, Supercross, all those races were going to be on Peacock and be part of that series. It's not. If you're confused, we're trying to clear it up here. That is a separate series that is going to run basically parallel to motocross and supercross, like AMA motocross and supercross. So problem was Feld and MX Sports were probably worried that the World Supercross Championship is going to pull riders away from their races. And so what did they do? They put together a $10 million purse and make a huge Super Motocross Championship long season, and then get motocross and supercross onto a good, to be televised a good way, a reliable way for a low price. I mean, $5. You can't complain about that. You cannot complain about that. That is so much racing for virtually nothing. And they said they were working on it, for quite a while. So they said that that wasn't the case to combat the World Supercross, but it kind of feels like it was that reason. And the World Supercross Series is being kind of called the Retirement Tour because you got Reed, Brayton, Seeley, and probably a few other riders that have been retired that are coming out of retirement to race it. So yeah, now I get why some of those guys came out of retirement. I mean, they're still super fast, still a shred on a dirt bike, but I was thinking there's no way they could compete with like the Eli Tomacs of the world, in AMA motocross supercross. Well, they're not. It's a separate series. So yeah, and if you want to watch those races, that's $30, I think, or $50. $50 for the entire season, or like $7 per race. It's pretty pricey. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to do it. We'll see. The other thing that might be interesting is what is Milestone going to do? Are they going to do a Super Motocross video game? I mean, that would be pretty sick to have the motocross tracks, the AMA Pro Nationals, and Supercross in one game. Ooh, that would be cool. That would be cool. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's still really, really annoying to get licensing on the individual motocross tracks because of the way it is, individually owned and whatnot. But that would be really, really cool. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it'll happen, but miss having... I mean, we get it with MX versus ATV, but I would like to see Milestone do a Supercross motocross game all in one, right? And I was thinking that might be weird because MXGP usually is a bit different from Supercross, but why? I mean, most games back in the day, especially MX versus ATV, had Supercross and motocross. Find a way to make your physics better and make them work for both the indoors and the outdoors. So yes, interesting. I believe they said that, I think I said it already, but $5.5 million is saved for the Super Motocross, and then last place, I think, is still 25 grand. I mean, 25K. That's a bunch of money. That is a bunch of money. It's a good incentive to stick around and do the AMA racing season instead of going over to World Supercross. So still pumped for World Supercross. Just, I don't know. It's a good time to be a dirt bike, motocross, supercross fan because, whoa, there's a bunch of racing to choose from. It might get pricey if you end up, trying to watch all of it, especially World Supercross charging $7 a race. But, if you're super into it, you'll probably do it. Again, if you do, let us know in the comments how it went, if it was good, if it was a good experience, and whatever. But I guess that's pretty much all I had to say. If I did mess up or miss something or whatever, please correct us in the comments so everybody can be on the same page. And it's just also new. I think it's hard to get it all straightened out, right? But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.